Stand in the cold, artificial light of any supermarket meat aisle right now, and you will witness the exact same quiet calculus happening over and over. A hand picks up a package of beef. The eyes scan the price tag. The mind does the math, and the hand slowly sets it back down. $12 a pound. You are not just looking at inflation. You are looking at the breaking point of a bloated, exhausted system. But walk 3 blocks away from those automatic doors, step inside a quiet kitchen, and look closely at the windowsill. Right there, inside a small plastic tray, a biological engine is manufacturing pure, clean protein. It operates with ruthless efficiency. It requires absolutely zero soil. It demands no sunlight, just tap water and 5 days of quiet execution. The contrast is almost uncomfortable. In the aisle, you are bleeding cash to sustain the sheer friction of a massive supply chain. On the windowsill, biology is working for free, which forces a very necessary question. Are you actually paying for nutrition, or are you just funding the sheer slowness of an industrialized machine? The answer? And the identity of a biological mechanism so powerful that even NASA spent years mapping its architecture is locked inside a forgotten dossier from 1981. Open that dossier, and you will not find the theories of a backyard enthusiast. You will find the official seal of the United States National Academy of Sciences. In 1975, facing the early tremors of a global supply crisis, they launched a massive international search for a biological solution. Their researchers ended up in the deep highlands of Papua New Guinea, studying a climbing vine that indigenous tribes had utilized for over 2,000 years. Its botanical name is Psophocarpus tetragonalobus, the winged bean. When the Academy published their final report in 1981, they did not use the restrained, cautious language typical of scientific papers. They called it a supermarket on a stalk. The nutritional profile was so incredibly dense that NASA began evaluating its architecture for orbital space stations. The United Nations recognized its mathematical potential to stabilize food insecurity. So, if the greatest scientific and aerospace minds of the 20th century agreed on its sheer power, why is it completely missing from your local grocery store? It was not banned by a shadow government. It was not destroyed by a corporate conspiracy. The reality of its disappearance is much more structural. The Western supply chain is a machine built to move durable, low-nutrient commodities across oceans. It requires crops that depend heavily on synthetic fertilizers, crops that guarantee recurring revenue for agricultural conglomerates. A plant that fixes its own nitrogen, fertilizes its own soil, and produces elite levels of clean protein practically for free simply does not fit the modern economic model. It cannot be aggressively monetized. So, the industry quietly ignored it. But the plant did not vanish. If this biological engine is so perfect, why can you not just harvest the dry seeds and eat them right now? Because its true power is locked away, waiting behind a formidable layer of biological armor. When you hold a dried winged bean seed in the palm of your hand, you are not actually holding a piece of food. You are holding a dormant biological hard drive. It is a locked vault of genetic code, programmed by thousands of years of harsh evolutionary pressure to do exactly one thing: survive until the environment is absolutely perfect. To protect itself while it waits in the dark, the seed deploys a microscopic layer of armor. It saturates its own internal tissues with a potent chemical defense mechanism known as trypsin inhibitors. If you were to consume the seed in this dormant state, this chemical armor would actively fight your digestive system, blocking your body from extracting the locked nutrients. It is nature's failsafe, a biological warning telling you to back off. But this is where you stop being a consumer and start becoming a biological engineer. Most people look at a dry seed and see a slow, tedious farming process. But what you are actually looking at is a vulnerability, a hacking opportunity. You do not need a plow. You do not need acres of topsoil. You only need the correct sequence of environmental inputs. When you immerse that hard shell in simple tap water and hold it at standard room temperature, you are essentially typing the override command directly into its biological engine. The internal response is immediate. The seed reads the environmental data, recognizes the water, and makes a radical shift. it voluntarily shuts down its own defense grid. The data on this is striking. The germination process systematically destroys 60 to 80% of the trypsin inhibitors. The vault doors swing wide open. The tightly bound, unusable amino acids suddenly unfurl into highly digestible chains, driving the protein absorption rate from a sluggish 65% straight past 85%. At the exact same moment, a massive, spontaneous surge of vitamin C floods the emerging cellular structure. You have just successfully activated a superior, entirely independent factory right on your kitchen counter. But here is the profound irony that the agricultural industry hopes you never think about. You just built a pristine supply chain that takes exactly 5 days from start to finish. And the modern economic system absolutely despises factories that operate this fast and this independently. We are about halfway through this narrative, and while you now understand the mechanics of this forgotten seed, I have not yet told you the most important part. The actual reason this profound efficiency is missing from your life. That is coming right now. But to understand it, you have to look at the one metric the agricultural industry hopes you ignore: time. In the modern supply chain, time is not just a measurement. It is an instrument of financial extraction. Look at the standard industrial cycle for beef. From birth to the shrink-wrapped package in the supermarket, a commercial cow demands 18 to 24 months of constant management. Throughout that massive chronological window, you are unknowingly subsidizing thousands of gallons of diverted water, acres of stripped topsoil, massive fuel costs, and an endless loop of synthetic inputs. When you scan that $12 barcode, you are not actually paying for the nutritional value of protein. You are financing the deliberate, bloated slowness of an industrialized monopoly. Now place that 18-month cycle next to the winged bean. 5 days. This plant belongs to a family of legumes that possess a biological trait that is absolutely catastrophic to modern agricultural economics. It fixes its own nitrogen. It literally pulls the essential building blocks of life straight out of the atmosphere and fertilizes its own environment. It demands zero synthetic fertilizers. It requires no heavy machinery to process. It generates absolutely zero recurring revenue for the conglomerates that dictate global agriculture. So ask yourself the defining question. In an economic system designed to extract maximum profit through chemical dependency and complex logistics, what is the inevitable fate of a biological entity that is brutally efficient, entirely self-sufficient, and almost free? It gets erased. Not by a shadowy syndicate, not by a secret government memo. It gets erased by the cold mathematical gravity of a commodity market that prioritizes profitable complexity over biological efficiency. It is chronological exploitation, hiding in plain sight. But stepping outside of this exploitative loop does not require you to abandon the city or purchase a sprawling farm. It requires something much smaller and infinitely more precise. It just takes an empty plastic container and the discipline to follow a 5-minute protocol. To take back control from that sprawling supply chain, you do not need an agricultural degree. You just need to execute a 5-day biological protocol. And unlike the industrial systems we just analyzed, this requires absolute precision, not heavy machinery. First, you start with the physical selection. You are looking for dry winged bean seeds that are perfectly intact, hard, and round. If you find a seed with a cracked shell, discard it immediately. That crack is not a cosmetic flaw. It is a microscopic breach in the hull, an open door for mold and pathogens to enter and compromise the entire batch. Next, you initiate the override. You submerge the intact seeds in clean water for 12 to 24 hours. You're not simply getting them wet. You are sending the exact environmental signal that the drought is over. Once the seeds swell, their dormancy is officially broken. You drain the water, place them in a standard sprouting tray, and keep them in a room resting between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. But here is the biological mistake that ruins most attempts. People assume plants need blinding sunlight. Do not place them in direct sun. Direct sunlight will not speed up this specific process. It will trigger a defensive response that turns the sprouts bitter, and it will rapidly heat the moisture to create a bacterial breeding ground. They require ambient, quiet light. For the next 5 days, your intervention requires exactly 60 seconds. You rinse them thoroughly with fresh water twice a day and let them drain completely. Why? Because you are preventing an anaerobic environment. You are flushing out natural metabolic waste and stopping airborne bacteria from taking hold. And this is where a profound reality must be acknowledged. History and biology both demand respect. Like any living system, cleanliness is not optional. It is paramount. Stagnant water and damaged seeds must be removed immediately to prevent harmful bacterial growth. You are the architect of this microenvironment, and with that comes the responsibility of strict hygiene. So, after 5 days of quiet execution, spending mere minutes a day, what exactly have you built? What kind of leverage have you managed to pull from a footprint smaller than a standard kitchen cutting board? Let us look at the raw mathematics of what you have just accomplished. A standard sprouting tray takes up barely 0.05 square meters. But if you run this continuous 5-day biological cycle, over the course of a single year, that tiny footprint can yield over 2,000 grams of pure, highly bioavailable protein. This is what real food sovereignty looks like. It is not about burying shipping containers in the desert or hoarding stacks of sodium-heavy canned goods for some cinematic apocalypse. It is much quieter and much more practical than that. It is the absolute ability to activate living, breathing nutrition inside your own walls, completely independent of the inflation rate or the fragile logistics operating outside your door. You are no longer a victim standing in a cold supermarket aisle, waiting to be priced out of basic sustenance. You are the architect of your own biological resilience, a quiet, relentless resistance happening right inside a plastic box. Start your first germination cycle today. When day 5 arrives, come back and drop your exact results in the comments below. And if you are ready to stop being dependent on a broken machine, hit subscribe, because the winged bean is not an anomaly, and there are dozens of other erased botanical architectures waiting to be reactivated.